This is Nikki Bell. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Wow, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. And that's how I wake up every day, saying it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Or it's a wonderful evening. You know, just keeping myself in high vibration. And you can see that I post some things about that. I believe in those things, high vibration, having positive energy, being real, right, but positive. You all know that I'm Nikki Bell, the strategist. I represent investors in the U.S. and around the world, but not just your typical investors. Let me explain that a little bit. Not investors that have invested, in stocks and trades, meaning that's becomes a public entity when that happens. When a company has shares and they have stocks and they're on the NYSE and all these different platforms, and then they go to typically a financial advisor. They say, hey, what should I invest in? That financial advisor should have, I believe it's a Series 63, 65. They usually sell other insurances along with that. And then Series 7 is for, through the SEC, is for advising, right? Particularly on investments. So that's not what I educate and guide them on, and I have to use those words. I educate and guide them on the strategy, okay? Strategy is everything. It's everything to me. That means that I don't just look at those particular things, which is kind of like a side gate of things. I'm looking at a particular niche that they invest in. And so my investors invest in major projects. I mean, it's that simple. Here, and I think you guys heard me say locally, we were supposed to build, I'm here in Sacramento, California, and we were supposed to build a soccer stadium for our professional soccer team. I'm not going to go into details, but there were investors involved. There were, city, county people involved. I mean, it was a big, big deal. And where they were going to have it located was great. Back there over there by the rail yards, where our Sacramento Valley station is, and the train station. And right now they're doing like EMD, which is music, right? EMD concerts, and a lot of people go. But we were going to turn that into a professional soccer stadium. And one investor, and I know this through the grapevine, one investor pulled out. So this is the type of thing that I would represent. And there was more than one investor, but there was more than one investor involved, but one investor pulled out. So these are the type of things that I get involved with, because that's what we call project investors who invest in projects. And it's really, really awesome. And so, they come, there's just a lot that goes with it. And, for my investors that I deal with, I have built relationships with over the years, in the 15 years that I've been doing it. These investors really rely on me to represent them, to know the language, to understand certain terminology, to help, to open up a deal. So folks come to me, whether they're a business, even entrepreneurs, whether they're a startup, they come and they say, hey, we have an amazing project that we're doing, and we would like for this investor to look into it. And if I'm representing that investor, they've already come to him. I don't need to scout for that investor. I don't need to go out and look for these projects. He typically has so many projects. And he's like, hey, I heard about you, Nikki, and, or I've known you for so long over the years. I need you to look at this. Just let me know, is it any good? And then it kind of started there. And then it was like, oh my goodness, I've got like 8 or 10 of them each, every other day that's coming in. Or I've got so many, and I need help. I need help. I need to do an initial call with them, but I can't be there because I'm clear across the country. Or, I'll be traveling that week, whatever. Can you handle this? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And there's just basic things that the investor needs to be transparent about in terms of the project that he's considering investing in. So a lot of times people see investors as like godlike figures, right? Oh my gosh, they're going to save my world, and this project I have is worth billions of dollars, and I have to approach it in a very humble manner. Like, okay, so I'm calling this meeting on behalf of the investor, and then I take them through, because I have my own way of kind of either keeping people in or, eliminating certain projects that don't meet the criteria. And so I will initiate that call, and sometimes I'm part of the closing of the deal as well. So it's always been, I think since I started this, it's always been the dream, right? And then the dream started to come true. And it doesn't stop. Even when I hit cold spells where there's nothing going on, it never stops, because there's just a world out there of business. There's a world out there of investments. And then you decide, I think as individuals, you have the ability to decide, I want to invest in notes. I want to invest in metal. I want to invest in, the coin industry. I want to invest in crypto. I want to invest in whatever. You make that decision for yourself. And so the people that I deal with, the investors I represent, they have made that decision, and they're not like blaming people, right? They do their research, at least to an extent, in terms of what industry they want to get involved in, what projects they're interested in. And, some of them are, ones I've come across are, big on tech, of course. So